Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is a video here that I've been wanting to do for quite a while. It took a lot of prep. There's 215 cars. I don't know how this is going to go. But I do buy Hot Wheels, but I'm very selective as to which models I get. It doesn't even depend on the casting. It depends more on the model, because if it's a really nice casting and it has a goofy livery or goofy graphics, then I'm just not into it. But I really do like nicely done civilian models with civilian paint. And so we're going to take a look at my Matchbox collection. So I'll try to move through it as quick as I can. We have here, oh, that's H3. It is an H3. Don't know that there's ever been another one of these cast in this scale. I don't know when a lot of these came out, so for that I do apologize, but one of the very few fantasy models I have is this little dune buggy, and I grabbed this one just because I thought it was so well done. It's actually an awesome little casting. It's a metal body, metal base for a company that does a whole ton of plastic. I think they do a pretty okay job with the little camper. This is the only one that I have, though. You have to buy the 5-packs to get those. A lot of these are 5-pack exclusives. I think what I'm going to do is show a few select models, and then I'll kind of scan over the rest of it. So let's start with some of the models that came out in 2017, because 2017 was a great year for Matchbox, starting with the Hako Skyline. This is an awesome little casting. Actually, I'm going to show the silver one because I think it'll show through a little bit better. So it came out in 2 colors. Hopefully we'll see this in a premium lineup, and hopefully we'll see more of this stuff. I really want to see a Ken Mary. I'm really hoping M2 does a Ken Mary, because I think right now, for out of Greenlight and M2 is smashing the premium stuff. Let's see, what are some other models from this year? This is a 2017 model. Now these, for being dollar mainline cars, are very, very nicely done. This was a huge hit in 2017. Volkswagen Golf. It is not the first time Matchbox did this casting. Just as an example, here's a Golf GTI from 2005. It's 1:59, so it's a larger scale. But this is the same tooling. You can see all the detail, which is really why I gravitate towards this brand when it comes to $1 cars. They had this Lotus model this year in a silky satin black. Not big on the car, but the casting is nice. What other stuff? This was a massive hit in 2017. There were a couple of color variations for this. There were also a couple of bed variations. This is the bed that has the stuff in it, and then this one is the empty bed. So those are your 2 bed variations, and then it also came out in green. Personally, I like the green one a lot better, because my preference, rather than having a bunch of side tampos, is to have headlight detail and taillight detail. So that right there is why I like the green one better. That's not the only Volkswagen to come out in the main line this year. We already saw the Golf. Here's the what is this? The Country. I guess it's just the Golf Country. Now this one I think is a new tooling, but I'm not positive on that. I could be wrong, but this was another huge hit in 2017. And those aren't the only three Volkswagens. There was another Volkswagen that came out. This is not a new tooling. It's a re-release. The Carmen Ghia. And I do have... It also came out this year in a 5-pack with this one. That might have been a 2016 5-pack. I don't recall for sure. And I also have this, which is an older release of the Carmen Ghia. Now this one is the Type 34. I don't know what year it is, but Matchbox also has a different Carmen Ghia from 1969, the Type 14. I don't know when the last time they put that one out. But this collection of mine, I don't mess around at all with fantasy cars. I'll buy any 4Runner, regardless of the graphics. I'll buy any Land Cruiser, regardless of the graphics. But everything else, I'm pretty particular. Also the Dodge A100. I'll buy any of those, regardless of the graphics. This was another hit. Whoa, here in 2017, the Tuk Tuk. This came out with 2 Tampo variations. So you can see one has the back Tampo, one doesn't. And then the side Tampos are also different. I don't know which one is harder to find. I think for the most part... Oh, wow. The top just came off of this one. And I didn't even do anything. There you go. Without the top. I don't know which one is harder to find, but I think Matchbox pretty much does them 50-50, like the Volkswagen trucks. Well, here's another 2017 release with a variation. This is the custom Chevy van. This is an awesome casting. I like it quite a bit. But on this one, you have the spare tire with the gas cans, and you also have the dirt bike. And again, I don't know which one is harder to find. From what I understand, they're pretty equally produced, I think. Some of the other cars from this year, the Chrysler 300, which Matchbox does a really nice job on. Really nice car. That one's pretty cool. That came out in a couple of different colors. The Dodge Challenger. Another awesome casting. They just kill it with these licensed models with the detail. You can't beat these cars for $1. I mean, these are not... I know I show mostly premium brands, but... you know, for $1, these are pretty spot on. Here's one from 2017, a little Mazda Miata. That came out in a couple colors. This is a larger scale. Sometimes Matchbox will have the scale on the bottom. This one does not, but that is a pretty big... It's in the 50s, I'm sure. And then this Firebird is a pretty recent release. It's a nice little casting. I actually like that Firebird tooling. Here's another one from a 5-pack. I think this one might have been 2016. But it's a tooling that I really like. From early 2017, this was a pretty tough one to find. This is an old GMC, 1957 GMC stepside. There's a little bit of a backstory to this truck. this Boone County Sheriff. This is an actual livery, I think in New Mexico. And there's an ex or like a retired sheriff there that collects Matchbox, and somehow they got in contact and they cast this truck. So, but I remember when it came out, it was pretty difficult to find, as a lot of Matchbox cars are when they come out. From 2016, here is one that was very hard to find, and it was very expensive. If you were lucky enough to scalp it, this is the Cadillac One presidential limo. It also came out in white. But these, when they first came out, you could get $20 to $30 for that. And another car, when I first started collecting in 2014 or 2015, I don't remember. I started collecting right when this car came out, and I found a couple of them, and I was getting $30 a piece on eBay. And, you know, now you can find it for $1. So it's weird that some cars do that and some don't, because if there ever was a Matchbox car that I thought you'd be able to do that with, it would be this. But these you can find for $5. It's an awesome casting. I like this tooling so much better than the Hot Wheels. I just wish it didn't have all the excess stuff on it. I know I'm going to be in the minority on that. I know most of you are going to like the Hot Wheels better, but this is definitely a lot more authentic. It's scaled a lot more accurately, and the proportions are more accurate. It's, you know, the Hot Wheels one is really wide, and this is not a wide car at all. So from an accuracy standpoint, this is a lot more accurate. But this is a rally car, so it sits a little bit higher. And I think a lot of people don't like that, but that is how it's supposed to look. I see a lot of people slamming this car, and it looks wrong because it's a dirt rally car. It's not supposed to be slammed. This Datsun truck, pretty awesome. I think they killed it with this. I like that it's more vintage than the Hot Wheels Datsun truck. We did get a 4Runner this year in 2017 and a 10-pack exclusive. It's a nice one too. I had to get this 10-pack for this casting because I'm a huge Toyota fan, and I love the 4Runners. We got a nice Infiniti this year. And between 2016 and 2017, we got a nice assortment, some different color variations of this Alpha. And it is a really nice little casting. So that's pretty cool. So I think those are pretty much the highlights from 2017. I'll show just a couple of more, and then we'll move on to my collection here. The BMW came out about mid-2017. Pretty cool little car. And then a tooling that I hope we see a lot more of in nice civilian livery is this one here. It's another Toyota that came out this year. And it's a new tooling. They have a different Toyota Tacoma tooling. I thought I had it, but I don't. I must have. I think I trimmed this collection down and got rid of a lot of the excess, which was a lot of emergency vehicles. But this is the new Toyota Tacoma, and I'm pretty sure this is a factory color. I don't care for the tent, but the nice thing about that is it just pops right out, and then you have a pretty legit Toyota Tacoma pickup. And it's a nice tooling for $1. You can't beat it. A lot of metal. I don't think this one has excess plastic like a lot of the Matchbox models do. Matchbox did say at the gathering in 2016, which was last year, that they are going to try getting away from that on the licensed models. They're going to try to put more metal in the cars. We got 2016 to 2017. There were a few different versions of this Dodge A100 release. There was a red Firestone. Then you had the Mothers, which I think this one for me was the hardest one to find. I only found one, and I found a ton of the red Firestone and the white. The white one is for, I think his name's Michael Heralda. I know his last name's Heralda, but he was a designer at Matchbox, and you will see some Hot Wheels with this same livery that he was involved in. So this is kind of a tribute car, because I think he retired or something like that. But this is a pretty cool racing A100. I like it. And then probably the nicest A100 to come out was in the premium Best Of series. And with this one you do get rubber tires. Get headlight detail. So that one's pretty cool. I have a few of those. And so now let's just take a look at some of the stuff. I'm going to start right here. This, I think, was a 2016 release that was pretty hot when it came out. This is a very rare car. There weren't many of these made. Pablo Escobar was known to drive one of these. It's a Lamborghini LM002. Basically a Lamborghini off-road vehicle. There were some pretty nice Range Rovers that came out too, both in the mainline and as a... There was a Range Rover set that was released. Here's a Range Rover from the Best Of. Rubber tires on that one. But I also have an older mainline, which I think is a better color. This one does not have the rubber tires, though. Still has all the nice detail. And I've got a 60th anniversary Range Rover in a nice pearl white. But I think my favorite Range Rovers actually came out this year with the retooling of the Defender. They took some metal off the top of this, but they gave it more ground clearance, which gives it a more aggressive look. And this one with this real plain paint job, I think looks really good. So that's the new retooling of the casting. If you want to compare it, this is the original. This actually isn't the original. The original had more metal up here, but they took that out and made some of this plastic to cut cost. But you can see how much higher the roof rack is on one compared to the other. Looks like they might have trimmed up the windows a little bit too, so they just chopped the top a little bit. But to me, this one here has a nicer look. This one probably looks a little more realistic, but this thing here is sweet. This came out in the Land Rover, was a 6-car set. This is the SVX. This is an awesome casting. I'm surprised it wasn't more popular than it was. Look at that. Tampoed headlights and indicators. It's British, that British green color that a lot of the British brands are known for. Taillight detail. Really nice wheels. That is a really cool casting if you're into off-road stuff. I would love to see one of these in a premium brand. And then this was a cool release. This came out in the main line. The reason I like this one is because you have the Land Rover logo, but I really like the satin black with the orange tree line. I think that's a really cool look. All right. Which way do I want to go here? Here's a car. This is a Mazda 2. I don't think Matchbox has put it out in a while. And I haven't checked in a while, but 6 months ago or so, these were like between $10 and $15 a piece on eBay. Which seems outrageous to me. But, you know, older Matchbox licensed models can be hard to find and expensive when you do find them. As an example, another one that is expensive when you find it is this Audi R8. I don't remember when these came out, but I think they go for 20 to 25. And they are sick. I mean, these things are very nicely done. Especially for the price. You will not find a nicer R8 for $1. You may not find another R8 for $1. Here's the same car in red. I think personally I like the white one a little bit better. Just I think the detail shows through a little bit better. I do like the wheels better on this one, but those are the two R8s that I have. I also have an older release, TT. This is not Matchbox's better work. This, I think, was one of their weakest periods in history when it comes to the detail of the cars. Here's a sweet little car, little Porsche 914. Awesome little car. I have no idea what these are worth. No idea. I've got orange and I also got one in green. And let's see, I have some other Porsches. Let me show one more, or a couple more Volkswagens. Here's the VW, it's a W12 concept. I forget the name. Kyosho did this car as well. Obviously, Kyosho did it much better, but this is a 5-pack exclusive. There is some amazing detail in it that my camera's not picking up because of the color. But that's a really cool car. And the last Volkswagen is this one here. I think after this I'm going to cut off the video and I'll do a part 2. This is a Volkswagen. I don't know the model name. It's not on it. But it looks kind of like a Ford Transit or something like that. Just a little transit cargo van. This is kind of an older release, a few years back, but I mean, it's a great example of the simplicity and the detail and the quality of the casting that you get for $1. Look at the interior. I mean, it's $1 car. I'd be curious to know what these ones sell for now. I don't know why Matchbox, the main lines seem to increase in value more so than Hot Wheels. There are certain Hot Wheel castings that will surpass Matchbox, but I think Matchbox are produced at a much lower clip than Hot Wheels. I bet you there's probably 10%. I bet you there's one Matchbox made for every 10 Hot Wheels made. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was lower than that. So there it is, Matchbox Part 1. With Part 2, I'm going to show some other Porsches. I'm going to show some Jaguars. some Toyotas, some Fords, and probably a few other things as well. Some Mercedes Benz, and I'll wrap up the Matchbox collection with part two. So stay tuned, and I'll holler at the next video.